Hey yo, Yasha Raleigh, we back with another show. Not only back with another show, but we back with a solo show this time. It's your boy Ghetto Genius, man. I'm happy to be doing this. Taking a branch out on myself. I know I usually do a lot of for y'all that know, usually do a lot of group live streams with the boys TKP, SOD, the men HIT, shit D Real G, and etc. But I decided to do a solo one, just a reintroduction to the channel, establish the target audience and things of that nature. But as far as I'm concerned, the best way to do that is via the scriptures. So we're not going to waste too much time because this is going to take a while. So just bear with me for a second. We're going to get everything ready. Let's see. Take that down. All right. Make sure I got everything in order. All right, share the entire screen. We ain't gotta do system audio on this one. That won't matter. Actually, just in case. All right. Am I out of that? All right, just to test to see those is watching. Can you see this screen? Just to see, just to make sure you guys can see the screen. Let me see. Make sure we're ready to go. If you can see the screen, hopefully, cause about ready to rock. All right, let me see where I'm going to. I'm going to start. Actually, yeah, we're going to start at Genesis 9 to establish, because this is a Bible channel. Of course, everything is foundation in the scriptures and the Most High, but we're going to establish once again who the scriptures are actually talking to. So, it's going to be a lot of. I had to jot down all these notes because it's going to be a lot of motherfucking reading. So, which means it's going to be a lot of motherfucking talking. So, you know, let's get to it. Genesis 9, start at verse 1. So the Most High blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Hold on. Let's see. By the way, this is the BLB Bible app. Reading out a New King James Version, just to let you know. And starting at verse 2 once again, and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, on every bird of the air, and on the move on the earth, and all the fish in the sea, they are given into your hand. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I have given you all things, even as the green herbs. But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. Surely, for your lifeblood, I will demand a reckoning. From the hand of every beast, I will require it, and from the hand of man, from the hand of every man's brother, I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For the image of the Most High he made man. As for you, be fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply in it. Then the Most High spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, as for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you and your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, and every beast of the earth with you, of all that go out of the ark, every beast of the earth. Thus I establish my covenant with you. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood. Never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. And the Most High said, this is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you, and every living creature that is with you, for perpetual generations. Now, of course, right now, every religion can try to attach to this, right? The sense of globalism and these religions and, all those BS philosophies, right? Because they can say, oh, well, you know, he made the covenant with all flesh. And of course, they try to nullify the law, especially Christians, them goofballs. They try to say, everything is everything is considered able for consumption. The problem is that I didn't read Genesis 8 because it's really unnecessary. But when you read Genesis 8, it's clearly referring to all the creatures that was in the ark. It's not talking about all animals, period, because the only animals that could have been there was the ones in the ark. So no, that's just dumb. And then of course, yes, the covenant was made with Noah and his three sons, but we're about to read, let's see, Genesis 9, starting at 18. We're about to read who the covenant was then established with from then on. Starting at verse 18. Now the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth was populated. And Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted a vineyard. Then he drank the wine and was drunk, and became uncovered in his tent. Now, I'll just read verse 22 before I say what I'm about to say. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth and laid, took a garment, Slakia, laid it on both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces was turned away and they did not see their father's nakedness. So Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. Now, granted, what is that referring to? Because it clearly tells you in Genesis 9:23 that Shem and Japheth, they turned their head the other way, so that way they wouldn't see their father's nakedness. But notice it didn't say Ham there. So, based off of that, it looks like Ham adulterated his father. We're not gonna go too much into that, but obviously that's a no-no. But at the end of the day, that is kind of on Noah because he shouldn't have been a drunkard, or you could say an alcoholic per se. But it's what it is. We'll keep reading on. Verse 25, then he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants, he shall be to his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord, Yahweh, the God of Shem. Hear that? The God of Shem. It didn't say Shem, Ham, and Japheth. It didn't say Shem and Japheth. No. The God of Shem. And may Canaan be his servant. May the Most High enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem. And may Canaan be his servant. So it's the same thing. The Most High was only dealing with Shem from a divine perspective. That's just the bottom line. Hey, so that cuts off a lot of the planet from what they call it. What did Kendrick say? Kendrick Lamar say, "I'm from the '70s." That doesn't mean anything. That's just crap. But just continue on out. Verse 28. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. So all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. So is once again the Most High is the God of Shem. He's not the God of Ham and Japheth and Shem at the same time. No, he's only the God of Shem. So we're going to skip to. So now that we established that the Most High was only divinely dealing with Shem, let's establish who amongst Shem was chosen. So we're going to go to Genesis 12, starting at verse 1. Now the Lord said to Abram, Get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, to a land I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you, and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Now, I just want to stop right there real quick because for whatever reason, religions, Slakia, read this and they'll say, "Oh, well, uh, all the families of the earth shall be blessed." See, it just says that. Well, here's the problem. It says it's speaking to Abraham. In Abraham, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. I mean, seriously, everybody comes from Abraham? What kind of shit is that? That's that's just retarded. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point of religions. They try to put globalism on every single aspect through spirituality. I mean, religion religions are the really the original trick for globalism, as we would call it today, necessarily Marxism, if not socialism, really Luciferianism. But that's a whole nother issue. I don't want to spend too much time on that. And I actually want to get if I can into linear real quick. I want to get that term Abram. Okay, reversed. Just so y'all know what it means. Abram, how you want to pronounce it? It means exalted father, original name of Abraham. What does that mean? It means that he was exalted from birth. So he was chosen by the Most High divinely to fulfill a certain purpose, i.e., really be the forefather of the holy nation, along with Shem, but you get the point, as we've already established in Genesis 9. Anyway, moving on. Back to the scriptures. Hold on, give me a second. All right. Continuing on at verse 4. So Abraham departed as the Lord Yahweh had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. Then Abraham took Sarah's wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all the possessions that they had gathered, and the people whom they had acquired in Haran, Slakia, and they departed to go to the land of Canaan. So they came to the land of Canaan. Abram passed through the land in the place of Shechem, as far as the terebinth tree, if I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, y'all can correct me. And the Canaanites were then in the land. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, to your descendants, once again, to Abram, to Abram's descendants. Your is deferring to Abram. I can't believe I have to do that, but apparently, you know, simple comprehension of grammar is such an issue for religions. I wonder why. Anyway, to your descendants I will give this land. And there he built an altar to the Lord, who had appeared to him. And he moved from there to the mountain east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent with Bethel on the west, and I'm just gonna say AI, not referring to technology, but Salakia, on the east, where he built an altar to the Lord and called the name of the Lord. So Abram journeyed, going on still towards the south. So the key there is what? Where is it? Verse 7. To your descendants, once again, I will give this land. I.e., he's talking about the Holy Land. Just let brothers know, just in case if you don't know, if you're watching, the land of Canaan is referring to the land of Israel as we know it more so today. Is also referred to as the land of Eden, things of that nature. Basically between the Nile and Euphrates, you know, blah blah blah. Don't want to necessarily go into that because, like I said, it's a lot of reading today, so forgive me. All right, Genesis 15. Give me a second. I just want to see which one. You know what? I'll just start at verse 13, and we'll just read to verse 15. Just keep it short. Then he said to Abram, know certainly that your descendants will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them, and they will afflict them for 400 years. And also the nation whom they serve I will judge. Afterward they shall come out with great possessions. Now as for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried at a good old age. Now I just want to stop right there because this is Of course, this is a prophecy, and this prophecy has already been fulfilled. We're going to get to that. But of course, like I said, there's a lot of reading. I have to keep saying it over and over again, which means it's going to be a lot of talking. So I'm trying to speed this through because, of course, a lot of brothers in knowledge already know this stuff. It's just that I'm just trying to deliver an overview. Once again, reintroduction to the channel. So, verse, let's see. Yep, Genesis chapter 17. Ooh, that's a lot of reading. Whatever. We'll start at verse 1. Then Abram was 99 years old, and the Lord appeared to Abram and said, I am Almighty God. Walk before me and be blameless, and I will make my covenant between me and you, and I will multiply you exceedingly. Then Abram fell on his face, and the Most High talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be a father to many nations. No longer shall your name be called Abram, but your name shall be called Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. Now, I just want to get that real quick. Just once again, a little etymology, a little interlinear. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's see what Abraham means. Father of multitude, or chief of multitude, a friend of the Most High, and founder of the Hebrew nation via the Most High's elective covenant. Now, we're going to get to who's actually the nation of that covenant, but just to do a little overview of his name. But to keep going, verse 6, I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings shall come from you. Now, that's another prophecy that was also given to a descendant of Abraham, but we're going to get to that. And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your descendants after you in their generations, forever, for an everlasting covenant. Keyword, everlasting, to be a God to you and your descendants after you. Also, I give to you your descendants after you the land in which you are a stranger, all the land of Canaan, as an everlasting possession. Hear that? An everlasting possession. Everlasting covenant. The land of Canaan, i.e., the land of Israel, is an everlasting possession. And I will be their God. And the Most High said to Abraham, As for you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you, throughout their generations. This is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you and your descendants after you. Every male child among you shall be circumcised. Now, this is referring to the covenant of circumcision. What is it talking about? The physical circumcision, i.e., the cutting of the foreskin of your phallus. But anyway, actually, it's right here. I ain't got to paraphrase that. And you shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskins. Once again, the foreskin of your phallus. And it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. He who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised, every male child in your generations, he who is born in your house or brought with money from any foreigner who is not your descendant. He who is born in your house and he who is brought with your money must be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. I.e., what? He's talking about his seed line, things of that nature. The covenant is established, well, it was originally established via the flesh. Of course, we're going to get to the new covenant in this reintroduction, so hang on. And the uncircumcised male child who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin, that person shall be cut off from his people, he who has broken my covenant. Then the Most High said to Abraham, As for Sarah your wife, you shall not call her Sarai. It should be Sarai. I was saying Sarah, but sorry about that. But you get the point. Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name, and I will bless her, and also give you a son by her. Now keep in mind, he was saying that because Sarah was barren, which we're about to get to that. Then I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be from her. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed, and said in his heart, shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, who is 99 years old, bear a child? Now, the average person would say, "Oh, come on, man! Why would you laugh at the Most High at something like that?" Well, I mean, let's be realistic. If somebody told you today that, at 100 years old, you was gonna shoot a bitch club up and get her pregnant and and have a son. Oh yeah, by the way, the girl's 99. Would you believe that? Would you, what I'm saying? Would you take that and run with that just off rip, or would you be like, that nigga tripping, bro? You probably will laugh. You probably just laugh it off, like, yeah, okay. So it is what it is. It was the Most High, so the Most High can do anything. But that's the point. Like, there's a there's a there's a realistic aspect to this. I mean, we're all human, so there's only so much humans can understand about how stuff like that works. I mean, at the end of the day, anyone can be barren at any age. But at 99, I mean, goddamn, how many women are having kids at 99 years old? How many how many dudes at 100 years old got a sperm count like that? But anyway, then Abraham said to the Most High, "Oh, that Ishmael might live before you." Then the Most High said, "No, Sarah your wife shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his descendants after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him. I will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. He shall beget 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will establish. Oh wait, Slakia. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac. From Sarah shall bear to you at the set time next year. Then he finished talking with him, and the Most High went up from Abraham. Now, I want to go back to verse 19 real quick, another interlinear, to see what does the name Isaac mean. This is very ironic. I looked this up a long time ago, but doing this for the stream, so it's very important that we see this. Ishak, if you want to pronounce it, or Yeshak, I believe, in the Paleo tongue. Look at that. Isaac means he laughs. Now, what does he laughs? What is that referring to? Didn't we just read, well, in one aspect, but didn't we just read in Genesis 17? I believe, what is it, verse 18? Just to make sure. Didn't we just read, no, in verse 17? Didn't we just read in verse 17 that Abraham laughed to himself about the child of promise? That's what that's referring to. It's referring to Abraham laughing at the notion of a son coming from a 99-year-old woman. Yes, it's, in a way you could say the etymology of his name is fucked up, but I mean, nothing personal. It is what it is. Once again, we're all human, and just to give a point, a lot of these people's names are what they call nomen omens, like they actually mean something. Their names their names represent their contributions to the Most High's overarching story. But I just want to get that out. Let's see, where are we going next? Oh, next chapter, Genesis 18. Are we starting at verse 1? Yep, sure are. Then the Lord Yahweh appeared to him by the terebinth trees. Sorry about that. And the Mamre. Well, I probably said that way off. As he was sitting in the tent door of the heat of the day. So he lifted his eyes and looked, and behold, 3 men were standing by him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them, and bowed himself to the ground, and said, "My Lord, I have now found favor in your sight. Do not pass on by your servant. Please let the little water be brought and wash your feet and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will bring a morsel of bread that you may refresh your hearts after you may press by insomuch as you have come to your servant. They said, do as you have said. She's talking about the angels of the Lord that was sitting there. But one other point. So Abraham hurried to the tent and to Sarah and said, quickly, make ready 3 measures of fine meal. I need it. I need it and make cakes. Oh, need it, my bad. Need it and made cakes. Salakia. Then Abraham ran to the herd, took a tender and good calf, gave it to a young man, and he hastened to prepare it, or hastened. So he took So he took butter and milk and the calf which he had prepared, and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree as they ate. And they said to him, where is Sarah your wife? So he said, here in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return to you according to the time of life, and behold, Sarah your wife will have a son. Sarah was listening in the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, well advanced in age, and Sarah had passed the age of childbearing. No shit, she was 99. Once again, therefore Sarah laughed within herself. After I have grown old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I surely bear a child since I am old? Is there anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time I will return to you, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. But Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, for she was afraid. And he said, no, but you did laugh. Now, I'm not going to go too much into that, but it all goes back to the name of Isaac. He laughs. When you break down the etymology of Isaac's name, especially in the Hebrew, or more specifically the Paleo tongue, it refers to laugh, or sport, sport, like make sport, a joke, things of that nature. Which that word, we're going to get to that when it comes to my official logo. But anyway, let's see what we got here. Where are we going next? All right, Genesis 21. Are we starting at verse 1? Yes, we are. Verse 1. And the Lord visited Sarah and said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time which the Most High had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. Once again, meaning he laughs. But anyway, then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, and the Most High commanded him. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him, and Sarah, the Most High has made me laugh, and all who hear will laugh with me. Once again, going back to Isaac's name, he laughs. Anyway, she also said, who have I said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne him a son in his old age. Now, of course, um, there's other things pertaining to Isaac. We're not going to necessarily go into all that. I mean, that was kind of just really kind of confirming the precept, but just get the overview. You know, um, for Abraham to show his faith, he had to it had to play itself out where he was about to he was about to offer up Isaac as a sacrifice to the Lord, but of course the angel stopped him. But at the same time, it also showed his unwilling faith to the Most High, so the Most High confirmed the covenant that he made with him and give it to Isaac. So I don't want to necessarily go into all that just for time constraint reasons. Let's see, where are we going next? Genesis 25. So, of course, the covenant was established with Isaac as was promised in Genesis 17 and in 18. So now we're moving on to Isaac and the genealogies of Isaac. the family of Isaac. This is where it's key here, because once again, we've already established the Most High made a covenant with Shem, then he made a covenant with Abraham. Okay, cool. Then he made the covenant with Isaac. That's very exclusive, but okay. A lot of these religions they'll be like, oh, okay, well, everybody came from Isaac then, right? No. This is where the big distinction comes into play. Now, let's see. Starting at verse 19. Yeah, starting at verse 19. This is the genealogy of Isaac, Abraham's son, i.e., the son of promise, the son of the promise of the covenant. Abraham begat Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah as wife, the daughter of Bethuel in Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. Now Isaac pleaded with the Lord Yahweh for his wife because she was barren. Another issue of not being able to have children at the time. And the Lord granted his plea, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. But the children struggled together within her, and she said, if all is well, why am I like this? So she went to inquire of the Lord. Now, here we go. Here's a big prophecy here. And the Lord said to her, two nations are in your womb. Two peoples shall be separated from your body. One people shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. Remember that. So let's see who's the older and who's the younger. Verse 24. So when her days were fulfilled for her to give birth, indeed there were twins in her womb. First came out red, he was like a hairy garment all over, so they called his name Esau. Now just keep in mind, verse 23 says, two peoples, i.e., two nations, two races of people, shall be separated from your body. Now, let's be for real. Who does that remind you of today? That's usually very hairy. Just saying. I want to get that in the linear real quick for Esau, just so you know, just so everybody understands the etymology. Just in case if you don't know, Esau or Esau, however you want to pronounce it, it's up to you. Esau, hairy, oldest son of Isaac and Rebekah, and the twin brother of Jacob. We're about to get to that. But look, look at this misdirection right here. Uh, look at the bottom. Progenitor of the of the Arab peoples. Oh my goodness. BLB something else, man. They with their misdirection BS Arab peoples. Whatever the fuck that means. Uh, I probably won't be able to get to that in this live stream, but the term Arab means mixed or mingled. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. That's not a real race of people. So you know what? They're just playing games. But I don't want to go. I don't want to go too much off on a tangent on that. It's just shit like that's just silly. But anyway, verse 26. Afterward, his brother came out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. So his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. So the boys grew, and Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, but Jacob was a mild man, dwelling in tents. Meaning what? He was very domestic. He was very chill. He wasn't one of those type of guys that was always trying to be outside or quote unquote in the streets per se, or in the ancient sense, in the field. He never wanted to be a man of the field. He rather focus on chilling out, chilling out by the crib. I just want to finish verse 28 before I go into something. And Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his game, meaning what? He was he was more so like his father per se. Like you know, when the father needed something, Esau was especially when it came to like hunting and things of that nature, Esau went to go get it. But Rebecca loved Jacob. Why? Because, by nature, the woman, especially in an orderly sense, the woman's going to be way more domestic by nature. Now, we already know that's not today, but that's a whole nother fucking issue. But I want to get Jacob's name real quick before we keep reading, before we finish out the chapter. Let's see. Jacob. Yaqub, or according to the NOI, Yaqub. What a joke. But anyway, Jacob, heel holder or supplanter, meaning what? Someone that's able to like subdue out of something that's theirs. You're able to trick somebody out of what's theirs. Now we're about to get to that, but the son of Isaac, grandson of Jacob, and the father of the 12 patriarchs of the tribes of Israel. Now we're going to get to that in a second, but I just want to get the etymology of it. That way everybody knows. All right. So, verse 29. Now Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary. Now, this is where that supplanter aspect of Jacob comes into play. And Esau said to Jacob, please feed me with the same red stew, for I am weary. Therefore, his name was called Edom. Let's just get that. Just going through all these words, so that way everybody knows in a lot of ways what these words mean or in reference to, even though you do have to be careful with, BLB, if not the Strong's Dictionary, because they put a lot of misinformation in there. But you see that? Edom, red. Now it says Edom. See, it's not really being specific, but whatever. Edomite, Idumean, descendants of Esau. Land of Edom, Idumea, land south and southeast of Palestine. So, just to give you just the outline usage of the word. Back to the chapter. Let's see. But verse 31. But Jacob said, sell me your birthright as of this day. And Esau said, look, I am about to die. So what is this birthright to me? Then Jacob said, swear to me of this day. So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. And Jacob gave Esau bread and stew of the lentils or lentiles. If I said that wrong, correct me. Then he ate and drank, arose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Now, what is the birthright? The Remember, according those that understand this, but those that don't explain this, according to the law, your father's inheritance always goes to the firstborn. Well, Esau is the older twin. He is the firstborn. So by that, the blessing, whatever inheritance that Isaac had, which in this case is divine preference, the covenant, things of that nature from the Most High, just from a strict human sense, it should have been given to Esau. But as we just read in verse 23, one people shall be stronger than the other, and most importantly, and the older shall serve the younger, meaning that the younger was meant to be given the divine preference. The younger brother, meaning what? Jacob. But at the end of the day, the Most High does not, the Most High fulfill things sometimes in ways that you might not expect. So that's how prophecy works. We're seeing a very early example of prophecy being fulfilled in a way that is not necessary. Is what's the best way of putting it? You could say quote unquote unorthodox to the human mind, but when you're focused on the Most High, you understand the ends justify the means. So it is what it is. Yep, that was the end of the chapter. So just let's see what we got next. Yeah, let's go 26. This actually reestablishes something with Isaac, just to confirm what I was saying before about Isaac and how he was the son of the covenant, the son of the promise from Abraham. There was Genesis 26, starting in verse 1. There was a famine in the land, besides the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Amalek, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. Then the Lord appeared to him and said, Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land of which I shall tell you. Dwell in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For you and your descendants I will give to these lands, and I will perform the oath which I swore to Abraham your father. What was the oath? That same land that was given to Isaac was the was the beginning of the fulfillment that was the promise that was given to Abraham. We've already read that in Genesis 15. But anyway, and I will make your descendants multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give your descendants, who Isaac's descendants, all these lands, and in your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. Now you see how we're repeating it. In your seed, all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. Meaning what? Once again, Isaac was the descendant of Abraham that was, once again, promised to be given the divine preference of the Most High. He was meant to be the Most High's chosen. Well, the next line up to be chosen. But anyway, and this is why, because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. So when you hear these religions, especially Christians, let's be for real, these New Testament jackasses talking about the law's done away with. No, Abraham didn't have to keep the law. The law was, it's only Moses. Bullshit. Bullshit. Moses wrote it down, but it was already around. Everything that Moses written was based off of what figures like Shem, Noah, Shem, Abraham, Isaac. We're about to get to Jacob, but it was based off of what they understood spiritually. We're going to get to the Moses issue in a minute, quote unquote, Mosaic law and the strict inheritance in adherence to that term, but we'll get to that. So, Genesis 27. No, we're not reading that whole chapter. That's too much. But we'll just start at verse 1. We'll just kind of skip around. Now it came to pass when Isaac was old and his eyes were so dim that he could not see, that he called Esau his older son and said to him, My son. And he answered him, Here I am. Then he said, Behold, now I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now therefore, please take your weapons, your quiver, and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me, and make my savory food such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, that my soul may bless before I die. Now Rebekah was listening, and Isaac spoke to Esau his son. Oh, when Isaac spoke to Esau his son, sorry, and Esau went to the field to hunt game and to bring it. So Rebekah spoke to Jacob, her son, saying, Indeed, I heard your father speak to Esau, your brother, saying, Bring me game and make savory food for me, that I may eat it and bless you in the presence of the Lord before my death. Meaning what? Isaac was about to bless Esau, his favorite son, his firstborn son, the covenant of the Most High. That's what he was about to do. But of course, the Most High fulfills prophecies sometimes in a way that you might not think. So once again, the prophecy was that the younger son will receive divine preference, not the older, i.e., Jacob was supposed to receive it over Esau. Get the point. Anyway, now therefore, my son, starting at verse 8. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to what I command you. Go now to the flock and bring me from there 2 choice kids of goats, and I will make savory food from them for your father, such as he loves. Then you shall take it to your father, and he may eat it, and that he may bless you before his death. Once again, the blessing is the covenant of the Most High. Then Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Look, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. Now, Once again, a hairy man. Let's be for real. Who today is known for being very motherfucking hairy in general? Just think about that. But anyway, perhaps my father will fail me, and I shall seem to be a deceiver to him, and I shall bring a curse on myself and not a blessing. But his mother said to him, let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice and go get them for me. Then he went and got them and brought him to his mother, and his mother made savory food such as his father loved. Then Rebekah took the choice clothes of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of goats on his hands, on the smooth part of his neck, and gave the savory food and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. Now, why did she give him the skin of goats, the skin of the kids of the goats? Why did she do that? Once again, Esau is very hairy, and his hair was probably felt closer to the texture of of a goat. So at the end of the day, he had to basically supplant his father Isaac, as we just read in his name, Jacob, meaning the supplanter. He had to do these things in order to ensure that the prophecy would be fulfilled and that the divine preference would be given to the younger son instead of the older son. You get it? Get it? Got it? Good. Moving on. Excuse me real quick. Take a drink. Anyway, continue on in verse 18. So he went to his father and said, my father. And he said, here I am. Who are you, my son? Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. I have just done as you told me. Please arise, sit, and eat of my game, that your soul may bless me. But Isaac said to his son, how is it that you have found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord your God has brought it to me. Because the Lord your God brought it to me. Then Isaac said to Jacob, please come near that I may feel you, my son, whether you are really my son Esau or not. Now, to a degree, Isaac had a feeling. He had a feeling. He had a feeling that wasn't Esau, but you know, is what it is. He couldn't know. He didn't know for sure. He just had a feeling. So Jacob went near to Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are of the hands of Esau. And he did not recognize him because his hands were hairy like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him and said, are you really my son Esau? He said, I am. He said, bring it near to me, and I shall eat of my son's game, so that the soul may bless you. And he brought it near to him, and he ate, and and he brought him wine, and he drank. I mean, in a way, this does sound kind of fucked up from a human sense, but I mean, it's just spiritual business. And you got to handle it. So here's what it is. Then his father Isaac said to him, come near now and kiss me, my son. He came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his clothing and blessed him and said, surely the smell of my son is like the smell of the field, which the Lord had blessed. Therefore may the Most High give you of the dew of heaven, of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let peoples serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be those who bless you. Now you're seeing certain phrases and terms being said over and over again. Like blesses those who blesses you, curses those who cursed you. That was also said to Abraham, meaning that the fulfillment of these prophecies, especially from a descendant perspective, is carrying on down. Not only from Abraham, but to Isaac, and also to Jacob. But anyway, Esau's lost hope. You see a cross reference there. But Hebrews 12 and 17, that's not the issue. Now it happened. As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had scarcely gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. He also made savory food, and brought it to his father, and said to his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's game. that your soul may bless me. And his father Isaac said to him, Who are you? So he said, I am your son, your firstborn Esau. Then Isaac trembled exceedingly and said, Who? Where is the one that hunted game and brought it to me? I ate all of it before you came, and I have blessed him, and indeed he shall be blessed. Meaning what? Blessed from the divine purpose of the Most High via the covenant. But anyway, when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, bless me, me also, O my father. But he said, Your brother came with deceit and has taken away your blessing. And Esau said, Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me. For he has supplanted me these two times. He took away my birthright, and now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me? Now we just read what the term Jacob means. And Esau just said it too, the supplanter. Anyway, then Isaac answered and said to Esau, Indeed, I have made him your master, and all his brethren I have given to him as servants. With grain and wine I have sustained him. What shall I do for you, my son? And Esau said to his father, Have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me, me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Then Isaac his father answered and said to him, Behold, your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. But by your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you become restless, you shall break the yoke from your you shall break his yoke from your neck. Sorry. Now, what is that referring to? Let's be for real. That's this right here, verse 40, is really referring to the time period that we're in right now, but it's really referring to when the Edomites finally took over Europe in the late 1700s, and also the Americas fully in the late 1700s, i.e., the American Revolution. That is really the fulfillment of this prophecy right here. But that's a whole nother issue. We'll uh we'll save that in-depth breakdown for another day. Where are we at? Come on now. Let's see where we at. Genesis. Genesis 28. This one should be quick. Whew, a lot of reading, I know. I know, man. I know. A lot of reading. Lots of reading. Lots and lots and lots of reading. Oh, man. Look, man, I'm trying, you know, let's see. Let me read some of these comments here before we go back. Let's see. Yeah, I got it. Let's see what we got. The boy Mac in here, you know what I mean? The boy Mac turned a classic 86. Tapped in. You already know TKP. He in the building, man. Tapped in, you know what I mean? D Real G in the building. Shit might stand up, you know what I mean? Oh man. Yep, Sean John 144, you know what I mean? Oh man, come on. Oh, come on, man. You already know Rendy up here. Come on, bro. It ain't a live stream if Rendy ain't up here, bro. I mean, it's just obvious. All right. Let's see what DG had to say here. Everlasting in some groups means until until Old Testament ends. All praise to Yahweh for the understanding. Absolutely. I mean, seriously, that's just dumb. Like everlasting, in what world does everlasting not have an end to it? Like that's no matter what dictionary you look that up in, it's not going to mean somewhere like an ending and what would you call it? It's not gonna mean an ending to anything. Like that's just madness. Yes, sir. Yep, he was in the streets. He for the streets. He's out for the streets. Eat him for the streets. So it is what it is, man. But let's let's continue on. Let's see. Genesis 28, starting at verse 10. I know it's a lot of reading. I know. Just I appreciate all y'all for bearing with me. You know what I mean? It's just whew, even my jaw's starting to lock up. You know what I mean? We still in Genesis. God damn. But anyway, Genesis 28, verse 10. Now Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he came to a certain place and stayed there all night, because the sun had set. And he took one of the stones of that place and put it at his head, and he lay down in that place to sleep. Then he dreamed, and behold, a ladder was set up on the earth, and the top reached to heaven. And there the angels of the Most High were ascending and descending on it, meaning that was like a portal. Just to, you know, just to sum it up, just to paraphrase, it was basically a portal really to the spiritual realm, but that's a whole nother issue that would have to be like completely flushed out, right? So I don't want to do too much into that right now. I just want to get through all this. Uh Continue on to verse 13. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord, power of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie, I will give to you and your descendants. Once again, you're seeing these fulfillment, you're seeing these same promises giving to Abraham and given to Isaac. Once again, they're both the father and ancestor of Jacob. Anyway, also your descendants shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west and the east, to the north and the south. And in you and in your seed all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Behold, I am with you, and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you. Now, once again, you see in verse 14, in your seed, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Meaning what? Who is your? In this case, Jacob. Okay, in Jacob's seed, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Now, look at this. You shall spread abroad to the west and the east, to the north and the south. Meaning what? You shall be spread all over the planet. We're going to read another prophecy that goes into this, but I don't want to get too much into that right now. But that's the whole point. Like clearly, it's talking about the entire earth. Jacob's descendants will be amongst the entire planet, amongst all nations. But at the end of the day, the term sorry about that. The term race means seed, meaning what? Semen or sperm. In the Greek, I believe the term is sperma. So that should tell you something. That's the whole point. The term race means seed. You get your race from your father. You also get your gender from your father as well. Like by the time the sperm reaches the egg, it's already determined who the gender is. What Where the mother comes into play is those physical characteristics, i.e., your genetics being what's the word for it? Being finalized and put together. Uh your father's genetics, your father's physical characteristics plus your mother's physical characteristics. But the gender and the race of the child is determined by the father because it's determined by the sperm. So that's that. I know a lot of y'all are not that's not watching, by the way. Y'all not, but I know there's a lot of niggas out there that too busy thinking that the woman determines all that. Listen, save your woman worshiping bullshit for another channel. I don't give a fuck. No, term race means seed. It don't mean nothing else. Don't mean no color. Don't mean no geographical location. It don't mean the country you got citizenship in, i.e., nationality. No, Ethnicity is referring to your seed line, to your bloodline, to your tribe. That's what that means. Okay? That's why it tells you right here in Genesis 28:14 that no matter where you go in your seed, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Meaning in your race, okay, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. That come from Jacob, period. Just period, point blank. Ain't nothing else to it. It's not that hard, but when you're too busy worshiping women, hey, or I don't know, worshiping the uh, bullshit concepts that the Edomites have placed on us for the past 200 years or so. Hey, that's what's gonna happen to you. Which we're probably gonna do at this point. I'm not quite sure yet, but we're probably doing a just a heads up. We're probably doing a critical race theory stream next Saturday. So you know, stay tuned for that. But I'm not sure if that's gonna be the talking point next Saturday. But at this point, it's looking like it. But we'll see. Let's see. Genesis 35. Just continue reading on. Come on. All right, 32. All right, it should be good. Yep, Genesis 35, starting at verse 9. Then the Most High appeared to Jacob again, when he came from Padan Aram and blessed him. And the Most High said to him, Your name is Jacob.
Can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, type in the chat. Yeah, that shit muted. No, what the fuck? Okay, y'all can hear me. Uh real quick, give me a quick synopsis. Where did it cut out at? So I probably got to go back to Genesis 35 and do that over again. Did it at least cut out did you guys at least hear Genesis 35 9 through, was it 13? Something like that. Did you guys at least hear that? Or do we need to read that again? Who's that? So we're cut out at Genesis 35, verse 9. That's where we're cut out at. Who's that over there? Just to make sure, that's where it cut out at. Okay. Okay. So I'll just, you know what? I'll just read again. Appreciate that. I don't know why it cut out. That made no sense. That's ridiculous. Just to make sure. You know what? Let me check something real quick. Let me check something real quick. Make sure. That's why the blue. Oh my goodness. Give me 1 second. That's why it cut out. Cause the damn Bluetooth thing. That's why it cut out. Why did it cut out? Okay, can y'all hear me again? Just to make sure, can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what happened. God, these headphones so stupid. It might be Esau still playing games, but the motherfucking shit, it disconnected. It cut off after a while because I'm not playing anything. Uh, Shout out to J2K being the stream, you dig? But my headphones they cut off after a while if I'm not playing anything, which I think is so stupid. But whatever. So that might happen again because like I said, I don't know how long this is gonna last. So just bear with me. I appreciate Mac. I appreciate you hit me up on Instagram, tell me that it cut out because I wouldn't have known. All right, so let's see. Go back to where we was at. Okay, can everybody see the screen? Just to make sure before I read Genesis 35 and 9 again. All right. Okay. So Genesis 39, I mean, not 39, sorry. Genesis 35, verse 9. Then the Most High appeared to Jacob again, when he came from Padan Aram and blessed him. And the Most High said to him, Your name is Jacob. Your name shall not be called Jacob anymore, but Israel shall be your name. So his name was called so he called his name Israel. Also the Most High said to him, I am God Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall proceed from you, and kings shall come from your body. The land which I give, sorry about that, which I gave Abraham and Isaac. Once again, Genesis 15, Genesis 26, referring to Isaac. Genesis 15, referring to Abraham. Genesis 26, referring to Isaac. Just going over this again. The land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, I give to you, and to your descendants after you, I give this land. Then the Most High went up from him in the place where he talked with him. Now, what I was about to do for my goofy ass headphones interrupted me. We was about to look at the interlinear for the term Israel. Let's see what we got. Israel, but of course we are not that goofy dude Brandon T. Jackson, so we definitely say Yasharallah. But anyway, God prevails. The second name for Jacob given to him by the Most High after his wrestling with the angel at Peniel. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I didn't really go over that because that's just, in a way, it's important, but I don't necessarily have to read that to get to the point. And, a lot of us in here, we already know this stuff. So, but for those that don't, you can read Genesis 30. Slacky about this because it's not the same part. I just want to go over this. Well, not go over it, but you get the point. Or is it Genesis 29? I believe it's, you know what, it might be 29. Uh, where is this? I totally forgot. Or is it Genesis? Uh, Hold on. Let me check the chat. They might have a reference for that. I forgot. I forgot. Where is this? When he battles the angel, I just can't remember this right now. Oh, this is gonna get on my nerves. Hold on, give me 1 second. Do, 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 do. This it. Uh, 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 uh. Blah, 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 blah. Man. Uh, Give me 1 second. You know what? I'll leave it for right now. But you guys know what I'm talking about. But so if you guys want to leave in the chat right now, I completely spaced out. I forgot right now. I completely spaced out and forgot what chapter that's in. But that's what that's in reference to. But just keep moving. Just keep moving on. What was he at? B. Yeah, name of the descendant. Okay, name of descendants. And the nation of descendants of Jacob, the name of the nation until the death of Solomon before the split. Now look at now look at this one. This is the big one right here. Usage number was it B2? The name used and given to the northern kingdom consisting of the 10 tribes under Jeroboam, and the southern kingdom was known as Judah. The name of the nation after the return from exile. Now once again, the name given for the northern kingdom, consisting of the 10 tribes under Jeroboam. Now we're gonna get into that. We're gonna, do an overview of that, which hopefully we'll be able to get to that pretty quickly here, because, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this. See, this is why is this bothering me? Why is this bothering me that I can't? Okay, this might be. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, Genesis 32, 22 through 32. That's what it was. Yeah, tripping. Okay, but yeah, you get the point. But that's what uh one what outline A is talking about. But you get the point. Genesis 32, 22 through 32. If you don't know, but anyway, uh, was it? It should be Genesis 35. What 23? Yep. Jacob's 12 sons. This is where his inheritance was passed down to. Well, part of it, but you get the point. The sons of Leah were Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel were Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's maidservant, were Dan and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's maidservant, were Gad and Asher. These were the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Padan Aram. Now, wait a minute. This is an aside. I don't want to go too much about a tangent on this, but as you can see, he clearly had sex with 4 women. But according to religions, you can't have more than one woman. But hey. Clearly this notion right here, debunks that notion. But anyway, also so does Abraham. But I don't want to go too much into that. We'll do that more so on what is it, Fridays, when it comes to like living life and when it comes to being an Israelite. But I'll save that stuff for later. I don't want to necessarily dive into more so what the plans are for these live streams too much right now. So where are we at? It should be Genesis 48. Where we're going? Where are my notes? Yep, Genesis 48. So we're just gonna do Genesis 48. Also, I'll probably be checking back, um, uh, back to the tab, like the comments and stuff. Now knowing that my headphones go out, so I'll probably keep a better eye out on that. So hopefully, it won't be like last time where I'm talking and that bullshit. But anyway, Genesis 48. Yeah, start at verse 1. Doesn't matter. Okay, now it came to pass after these things that Joseph was told, "Indeed, your father is sick." Oh, you know what? Let's actually, actually let's read that verse real quick. And it came to pass after these things that Joseph was told, "Indeed, your father is sick." And he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And Jacob was told, "Look, your son Joseph is coming to you." And Israel straightened himself and sat up on the bed. And Jacob said to Joseph, "God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me, and said to me, Behold, I will make you fruitful and multiply you, and I will make you a multitude of people, and give this land to your descendants after you as an everlasting possession." I.e., what? The promise of the covenant. Now, let's get Joseph real quick. Let's get Joseph's etymology name real quick. In the Paleo tongue or the Aramaic per se, his name is Yawasop. But yeah. Let's see. Where's Joseph? Jehovah. Anyway, the Most High has added. Yahweh has added Jehovah. Give me a break. But anyway, the eldest son of Jacob by Rachel, father of Yigal, who represented the tribe of Issachar. Okay, that's not important. Son of Yasaph, the man who took a foreign wife in time. That's not important. Okay, so just to give this one right here, eldest son of Jacob by Rachel. His name means the Most High is added. What did he add to him? Let's get this. Let's continue reading. Yeah, verse 5. And now your two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, who were born to you in the land of Egypt before I came to you, in Egypt are mine, as Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. Meaning what? The two grandsons of Israel, i.e., the two sons of Joseph, is what represents as that, as that blessing that was added to Joseph. But anyway, your offspring whom you beget after them shall be yours. They will be called by the name of their brothers in their inheritance. But as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died beside me in the land of Canaan on the way, and there was but a little distance to go to Ephrath. And I buried her on the way to Ephrath, sorry, that is Bethlehem. Then Israel saw Joseph's sons and said, Who are these? And Joseph said to his father, These are my sons, whom the Most High has given me in this place. And he said, Please bring them to me, and I will bless them. Meaning what? The premonition of the blessing that was added to Joseph. But anyway, now the eyes of Israel was dim at age, like Isaac, but he could still see a little bit, so that he could not see. Well, you get the point. He could barely see, but you get it. Then Joseph brought near to him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said to Joseph, I had not thought to see your face, but in fact, the Most High has shown me your offspring. So Joseph brought them from beside his knees and bowed down with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim with his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh with his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near him. Now keep in mind, there's a reason why it's describing this to that type of detail. We're about to find out. Then Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it on Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's head, guiding his hands knowingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. Meaning what? He did that on purpose. But anyway, And he blessed Joseph and said, the Most High, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the Most High, who has fed me all my life, long to this day, the angels who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads. Let my name be upon them, and let my name, and let the, well, not my name, let the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. Once again, fulfilling the promise that from Abraham and Isaac there would be many nations. But anyway, now when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. Why? Because once again, the law always says that the inheritance always goes to the firstborn. Ephraim was the younger brother. But anyway, it displeased him. So he took hold of the father's hand and removed it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. And Joseph said to his father, not so, my father, for it is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head. Now think about that. How the hell could Joseph know that when the law the law of Moses was written during this time? Come on now, religions, make it make sense. Clearly the law was still around. I mean, goddamn. But anyway, another confirmation of that. Anyway, but his father refused and said, I know, my son. I know. He shall become a people, and he shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his descendants shall become a multitude of nations. So he blessed them the day, saying, by you Israel will bless, saying, may the Most High make you as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And thus he set Ephraim before Manasseh. Now, I'm not going to go into the rest of that, but we're just going to look at Manasseh first. That's more so, where we're just going to look at Manasseh first, since he was given the lesser blessing per se. Nothing personal, it's just spiritual business. But anyway, Manasseh. I forgot how it's spelled I forgot how it's pronounced in the Paleo tongue right now. But causing to forget, meaning what? He was forgetting. He was forgotten, basically. He's the forgotten son, forgotten tribe, if you want to say that. But anyway, eldest son of Joseph and progenitor of the tribe of Manasseh, the tribe descended from Manasseh, the territory occupied by the tribe of Manasseh, king. No, okay. Anything else important? No. Okay. Now let's go to Ephraim real quick. Now this is big. This is big right here. Ephraim. Not Manasseh again. Come on. My hand's too big. But anyway. There we go. Ephraim, I believe. So you get the point. Ephraim, doubly ashy, I shall be doubly fruitful. Now, didn't Jacob just promise, or didn't Israel just promise Joseph or Yahweh that Ephraim would be that would be more fruitful than a brother? But anyway, it says it right there. Second son of Joseph, blessed by him and given preference over the first son Manasseh, the tribe Ephraim, mountain country of Ephraim. Look at that. Look at that shit, man. Sometimes use name for the northern kingdom, in parentheses, the book of Hosea or Isaiah. Now we're going to get to that. We're going to get to both books. Now keep in mind, it didn't say no, that was Israel's name. But in Israel, it should have said it should have mentioned like Jeremiah or something like. It should have mentioned Jeremiah as well, but there's a reason for me. There's a reason for that, because if it would have mentioned Jeremiah, then it would have to reference the new covenant in Jeremiah 31. But that's just how I'm looking at it. I could be wrong though. I could be motherfucking wrong. But anyway, but you get the point. Like, that's the northern kingdom. The northern kingdom is Ephraim, or the house of Ephraim per se, or Ephraim, however you want to pronounce that. But anyway, so where are we at? We should be 49. So let's just go there. We should be 49. Okay. You know what? Yeah, we're just gonna start verse 1. And Jacob called his sons and said, gather together, that I may tell you what shall befall you in the last days. Gather together and hear, you sons of Jacob, and listen to Israel your father. Reuben, you are my firstborn. Now, once again, the firstborn should have gotten the inheritance, the main inheritance here, of leadership and things of that nature. But anyway, my might and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, you shall not excel, because you went up in your father's bed and defiled it. He went up to my couch. Now, what is that? Now, what is he talking about? In Genesis 35, Reuben had sex with one of his uh, women, maidservants, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember which one it is right now. Let me pull that up. Not on here because it doesn't really matter, but whatever. Um, yeah, Bilhah. He had sex with Jacob's maidservant Bilhah, who you know, Bilhah had two of his sons. So that was that's a big time violation. That's your that's a violation according to Leviticus 18. So not supposed to be doing that. But anyway, so they, I mean, he still got a blessing, but it should have been blessing of leadership. But unfortunately, due to that, he didn't get it. Anyway, continue on to verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brothers. Instrument of cruelty are in their dwelling place. Let not my soul enter their council. Let not my honor be united to their assembly. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self will they hamstrung an ox. Cursed be their anger, for it is fierce, and their wrath, for it is cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. Now, what is that talking about? That's talking about, if I'm not mistaken, Genesis 34, where they literally killed civilizations. I can't remember the civilization right now, but they literally killed the men of that civilization. Basically, well, not only they killed them, they tricked them into thinking that they could become part of the covenant by getting them circumcised, and then ended up killing them anyway. Like that's cruel. That was unnecessary, based off of a situation that was with Jacob's daughter Dinah. Dinah, if I'm saying that correctly. So that's what that's referring to now. That situation will we'll have to piggyback off of that another day, because that kind of goes into another issue that some of us brothers have talked about before. So I don't want to do that right now. I just want to continue to keep reading. Now this one's important because it's referring Judah. All right. Now I want to get before I read it, I want to get the etymology of Judah real quick before we confirm it via reading the scriptures. Let's see. Judah, Yehuda, Yehuda. Come on, bro. But anyway, Judah, Yehuda in the Aramaic or Paleo tongue meanings praised. Son of Jacob by Leah, the tribe descended from Judah, the son of Jacob, territory occupied by Judah, the kingdom comprised of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin, which occupied the southern part of Canaan after the nation split apart upon the death of Solomon. Okay? Let's see. And that's important. But this is big right here. D. The kingdom comprised of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin, which occupied the southern part of Canaan after the nation split upon the death of Solomon. So that's a key when referring to the quote unquote New Testament. But I don't want to spend too much time on that right now, because we still got to get to the New Testament. I know, a lot of reading. Anyway, Genesis 49, verse 8. Judah, you are he whom your brothers shall praise. Once again, confirming his nomen omen. Judah, Yahweh, meaning praised. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down before you. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, you have gone up. He bows down, he lies down as a lion, and as a lion, who shall rouse him? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh comes, and to him shall be the obedience of the people. So once again, this is very prophetic here. This is not really talking about Judah, really. This is talking about, one of the descendants that will come from the tribe of Judah. But, that's a whole, we'll get to that. But anyway, binding the donkey to the vine, his donkey's colt, to the choice vine, he washed his garments in wine and his clothes in the blood of grapes. That's referring to something big time prophecy. But anyway, his eyes were darker than wine, and his teeth were whiter than milk. That's a whole nother issue, but shout out to TKP, J2K, and SOD for breaking that down. If y'all want to watch that, I believe that's on. Well, actually, I did do a video. I did do a clip video on that, but if you want to watch the full stream, I believe it's on SOD's channel. So y'all can go over there and look at that if you haven't looked at it already, or if you want to recap. But anyway, continuing on, verse 13. Zebulun shall dwell by the haven of the sea. He shall become a haven for ships, and his border shall adorn Zidon. Issachar shall be a strong donkey, laying down between two burdens. He saw the rest that was good. He saw the rest was good, and the land was pleasant. He bowed his shoulder to bear a burden, and became a band of slaves. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, a viper by the path, that bites the horse's heels, so that the rider shall fall backward. I have waited for your salvation, O Lord. Gad, a troop shall tramp upon him, but he shall triumph at last. Bread from Asher shall be rich, and he shall yield royal dainties. Sorry. Naphtali is a deer let loose. He uses beautiful words. Joseph is a fruitful bow by a well. His branches run over the wall. The archers have brutally grieved him, shot at him, and hated him. But his bow remains in strength, and his arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. Who is that? Yahweh. But anyway, from there is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, by the God of your father who helped you. By the Most High of your father who helped you, and by the Almighty who will bless you with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lies beneath, blessings of the breast of the womb. The blessings of your father have excelled the blessings of my ancestors up to the utmost bound. In everlasting hills they shall be on the head of Joseph, and the crown of the head of him who was separate from his brothers. Really confirming what we talked about when it comes to Joseph's etymology. The Most High is added. What did he add to him? The double blessing of Ephraim and Manasseh. And also, just kind of fleshing it out right there with the promise of Joseph. But anyway, Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. Now, Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. Just keep that in mind while we get through all these scriptures, and that will be part of explaining the logo. But anyway, all these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what their father spoke to them, and he blessed them. He blessed each one according to his own blessing. Now, okay, that was a lot, but make sure my notes are correct. We should be out of the book of Genesis, I believe, because we don't really have to read Genesis 50. Obviously, just to give a summarize. Of course, Jacob died. I think he when he passed, I forgot where they buried him. I think it was in the land of Canaan, something like that. And then also Joseph passed away as well in Genesis 50, and I believe he was also buried in Canaan as well. And then the remaining 11 sons, well, the remaining sons, or two grandsons, Ephraim and Manasseh, they went into they journeyed into Egypt. So it is what it is. But yeah, we're out of Genesis, guys. Oh, we made it, man. We made it. Clap it up, clap it up. God damn. So much reading. All right, let's check out some of these comments, man. Just get a little breather. Get a little mental breather. Oh, KS. Appreciate coming to the stream, man. Wonder if that boy Michael watching. Man, look. I'm tired of that man. See, I was gonna do that. I was gonna do this to him, but clearly we didn't have enough time. I mean, shit, we already the hour 45 minute mark. We had to sit there all day and do this shit with his motherfucking ass. But anyway, he taking notes for that debate. Well, I mean, about to construct that ironclad pseudo doctrine. Well, hey, Hitman subbed. I trade places with the man HIT for this one, so he gonna have to he dodged that bullet this time because I don't feel like arguing with his ugly ass. I mean, this shit's stupid. Like, come on, bro. And then you didn't even let me do this shit the last time. Nah, nigga. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for his old lapdog, old David, man. I ain't got time for him, bro. Sorry. Ooh, excuse me. He probably is doing that. I think he was too debate focused. Yeah, it wasn't even. It technically wasn't even a debate. That's the that's the worst part. It wasn't even a debate, man. Because really ain't nothing to debate about. But it wasn't even a debate. A debate is way more organized than that. So he's being stupid. He was trying too hard to bring that smoke, and it's just, nigga, you ain't got no heat, bro. So it's just whatever. But you know what? Do you? Do you, Mike? Oh. I think y'all can actually teach him if y'all led him to his own answers by asking questions instead of telling. Well, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to slow walk him into the point, but you know, like I said, he tried to call me condescending. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell him after all that. I mean, I try to help him out. I tried. So, it is what it is. Let's see what we got. That brother David seemed like he was actually trying to listen and figure it out. Man, man, that man David, man. Hell no. That man was antagonizing. He was trying. He was trying it. You lucky I didn't go off on him. He lucky, man. He lucky that, he's SOD's cousin. Shit. I agree. I agree. I agree. I can see Michael becoming an atheist one day. I agree. Or at least put the Bible down. You gotta read from that goddamn, what they call this shit, the the OWASP or some shit. You gotta read from that shit, man. Fucking OWASP. Shout out to them HOK niggas. But anyway, let's keep going because I don't wanna spend I don't want to spend way too much time on this. I appreciate all y'all that's coming in. You know what I'm saying? And staying around. It's just like I said, it is a lot of reading, man. I'm trying to see if I can skip some stuff in my notes. Damn, I really can't. But Exodus, it's not gonna be, because when it comes to Exodus and Exodus through Numbers, I'm not gonna read that much. I'm not gonna read that many chapters because it really kind of goes into the law, and we're just kind of establishing, reestablishing, for my channel, who the Bible is actually talking to. We aren't necessarily going to laws right now. That can be flushed out throughout different live streams or whatever. So Exodus 1. You know what? Let's just mm, mm, yeah. Yeah, let's start at verse 1. All right. Now these are the names of the children of Israel who came to Egypt. Each man and his household came with Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And those who were descendants of Jacob were 70 persons, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, all his brothers, and all that generation. But the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, multiplied and grew exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose a new king over Egypt who did not know Joseph. And he said to the people, Look, well, actually, I just want to touch on that real quick. I'm not quite sure who was the king of Egypt over the time after that did not know Joseph per se. You know, if one of y'all know, y'all can put in the comments. I would appreciate it. I don't necessarily look up necessarily stuff like that. What I have is it's just been a while, because it's not necessarily that important per se. But you know, from a history perspective, it would put more things into context. But anyway, and he said to the people, "Look, to his people. Sorry, not to the people, to his people, who the Egyptians, who will be Hamites." But anyway, look, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, lest they multiply and it happen. In the event of war, they also join our enemies and fight against us and go up out of the land. Therefore, they set taskmasters, over them to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh supply cities, Pithom and Ramses. So there might have been King Ramses, but anyway. Uh, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were in dread of the children of Israel. So the Egyptians made the children of Israel serve with rigor, meaning what? Cruel slavery, cruel bondage, cruel servitude. Because just get to the point, uh, well, just inside really, slavery just means servitude, meaning that there is a good way to do slavery and a bad way to do slavery. I know what I just said is, you know, blasphemy against the pro-blacks, but who gives a shit about them? They're idiots anyway. But yeah, slavery just means servitude in its basic sense. Now, there's a good way to do it and a bad way to do it. Obviously, Israel during the time of Egypt were placed into very hardcore, unjust servitude, unjust slavery, if you will. But that's a whole nother issue for another day. We have to go into the law about that, and like I said, I'm trying to get through all these precepts, so we're not going to do that right now. But anyway, and they made, I'll just read verse 13 again. So the Egyptians made the children of Israel serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in the mortar, in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service was all their service in which they made them serve was with rigor. Then the king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives, of whom the name one was Shiphrah. Yeah, I probably said that right. Hopefully I did. If I didn't, y'all can correct me. And the name of the other Pua. And he said, when you do the duties of a midwife for a Hebrew woman, you and see them on the birth stools, if it is a son, you shall kill him. But if it is a daughter, then she shall live. Why is that? It's because the easiest way to control any population is to control the man, to control the male child. Once you've controlled how many male children can be born, if not any can be born, then you leave that nation under subjection automatically, because each nation is as strong as its men. But anyway, but the midwives feared the Most High and did not do as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the male children alive. So there you go. Back then, the daughters of Zion had some sense. Now, due to, really the ignorance of the sons of Israel first, but, due to the ignorance of all the children of Israel, we're the leaders of abortions in America. Anyway, um, is what it is. You might be triggered by that. I don't give a shit. But Exodus 3. Yep, Exodus 3. We're just gonna skip kind of most stuff, so to speak. Yeah. So we're just gonna go to 3. 1 through 15. Yep. Start at verse 1. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, and the priest of Midian, and he led to the flock to the back of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of the Most High. Then an angel of the Lord appeared to him in the flame of the fire from the burning bush. In a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. So he looked, and behold, the bush was burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. Then Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush does not burn. So when the Lord saw that he turned aside to look, the Most High called to him from the midst of the bush and said, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Then he said, Do not draw near this place. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you stand is holy ground. Moreover, he said, I am the Most High of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Once again, confirming the covenant, confirming who the Most High was dealing with. I mean, come on now. Genesis 12 and 15, Genesis 26, Genesis 25. The later verses, Genesis 28, 10 through 15, Genesis 35, 9 through 13, and also Genesis 35, 23, 26, Genesis 48, and Genesis 49. I already read this. Boom. Anyway, and Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon the Most High. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the oppression of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters. For I know their sorrows. Okay, sorry about that. So I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up from the land to be a good and large land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites. If I said that wrong, y'all can correct me. And the Hivites and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen their oppression with which the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now, therefore, I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. But Moses said to the Most High, Who am I that I should go to the Pharaoh, that I should bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? So he said, I will certainly be with you, and this shall be a sign to you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you shall serve the Most High on this mountain. Then Moses said to the Most High, Indeed, when I come to the children of Israel and say to them, The God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they say to me, What is his name? And they shall say to them, and what shall I say to them? And the Most High said to Moses, I am who I am. Now, I'm telling you, man, a lot of Jakes, man, they're crazy. They really think they really think they just read that part and they just say, oh, that's what it is. I am Ahia. No, no. That's that's madness. And they don't continue reading on. Because then he says, and he said, Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you. I have sent me to you. Moreover, Moses said to Amos, Then you shall say to the children of Israel, the Lord God of your fathers. This is what the Most High is saying to Moses to tell them what his name is. Okay? Good grief. Now, granted, you can see, NKJV, they trying to play games. They said, just whatever. What you get the point? They playing game. They try to play games with a little wording there, but that's why you gotta be careful with translations. So it is what it is. But the Lord, which that right there, you see that how it's capitalized, is should be from an ancient sense, it should just have the tetragram there, which we already know, those of us that study, which we will do a live stream on this just in case. I know TKP is coming, so stay tuned for that one. But the Lord, Yahweh, meaning he is or he exists anyway, the Lord Yahweh, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial to all generations. Okay? So it's Yahweh. Not Ahia. That's madness. You're you're in the danger zone according to Isaiah 47. But I'm gonna say that for another day. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff. We have other live streams coming on this, so I don't want to take too much time, going over that stuff. I just need to go over a little bit just for those that have no idea about what the Bible's about. So, I appreciate y'all for listening as well. But anyway, I went to Exodus 15. Was that important? You know what? I'm gonna skip that one. I'm gonna skip Exodus 15 because that's more so prophetic. So we're gonna go straight to Leviticus. Like I said, we're not gonna read too much of Exodus through Numbers. We just get to the point. A lot of that stuff that I'm talking about has already been established in Genesis. So at this point, we're definitely about to sound redundant part, but that's the whole point. The Bible is redundant, so because the same message needs to be communicated at all times. But anyway, why is it not doing this? There we go. Not Leviticus 9. Oh, hurry up. This should take forever. Apologies for technical difficulties. Oh, hurry up already. Thank you. Okay, now my screen won't act stupid.